guys, and welcome back to Skins in the Game. I'm Tim. That over there is J-Dubs. How you doing today, J-Dub?
I'm doing good.
Doing
Little
good? Having fun?
little celebration is in order.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Yeah, let's go ahead. You know what? We'll just start right with that. Why not just, instead of starting with a dad joke today, there is something that's worth skipping the dad joke for now. We'll come back to it. But another grandbaby.
And my
And
first
another,
grandson.
our first grandson, your first grandson, my first nephew, sister had a baby yesterday?
No, this morning,
This morning.
early afternoon.
Very
So
cool.
literally
Very cool.
hours old.
Hours old. Yeah. Not even a full 24 hours old. Look at little tiny hands, big head, the classic whining big head. Classic whining sourpuss face. No, I'm just kidding. Very cute. Very cute.
But mom and baby are doing well.
Good.
Talked to her earlier, or talked to her this afternoon, and everything went well. So good for them. I'm glad she has the kid and not me because I'm done with the young babies. But he sure looks cute to me. So
Awesome. I just want to make sure I send all of this to the Discord because I know the time on the page was all wonky and walked out. So hopefully some people. Oh, Yuki has a question. What's up, Yuki? Anyway, all right. Well, congrats, Dad, for being another number 4, grandbaby number 4.
yep.
And very cool. So, all right. We got a good show. We're going to do our draft of the best Toms in sports. A little bit of Washington news, not a whole lot of Washington stuff. Of course, it's the off season. We haven't hired an OC. We did interview somebody today, so we'll talk about that. We'll go around the league, such as Tom retiring, a couple of head coaching hires, and we have the NFC and AFC games. Of course, the Super Bowl is set, and we'll finish it off with Weddle. But as always, we're going to start with the dad joke of the week.
So I can't take my dog to the pond anymore because the ducks are attacking him. That's what I get for getting a purebred dog.
I got it. Because they like to eat bread. All right. Well done. All
right. So that was not one I did before. So, but go ahead.
I had not heard that one. Yes, R.I.P. Bobby. We'll definitely touch on that when we get to the Washington section for sure. Dolphins were second. What?
Oh, Yuki asked who was the second most, or who was the most fraudulent team behind the Vikings, besides the Vikings.
Do you have one in mind off the chart? I think I have to go with the Chargers. They're so great on paper, and yet they always come up short and flop.
Yeah, I thought the Dolphins hung for a while.
Yeah, I mean, considering their quarterback was in and out of the lineup, and they ended up making the playoffs. I mean, good for them, because they were like, I think they were like undefeated with Tua. But he just
but they hung. They hung with Kansas City, right? It was Kansas City. They hung with them for. Sorry, Buffalo. They hung with them for a while.
Right. But anyway.
But yeah, Yuki, I have another grandbaby, number 4, first grandson.
Bills are not frauds. They just got hurt at the wrong time. That defense was decimated. Anyway, let's get into this. All right, we're going to start. Instead of the what do you got, we're getting into the drafts. We're going to do draft to start the show. And today's topic or area is the best Toms in sports. So not just Toms everywhere. So no Tom Hanks or whoever else you can think of as far
as
Cruise. Tom Cruise. No, none of that. Only in sports. So who wants to go first? You want to go first or me go first?
No, you know what? You go first.
All right. Yeah, I think you did go first last week. So I think alternating will be good. All right. I'm going to go with the GOAT.
Thanks, Yuki.
I'm just going to take the easy one. First pick in the Tom draft is Brady. And he just retired today. We'll touch on that when we get around the league again. But Brady, number 1 on my draft board. I'm taking Brady. Who do you got?
All right. I'm going to pull one a bit out of left field, but I think it's a good one.
Pick. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with Tommy Heinsohn.
Who? He wasn't even on my list.
Tommy Heinsohn, what he played for the Celtics in the 60s and 70s and also coached them. And out of 9 years he played for the Celtics, they won 8 championships.
Wow.
Look, he rode a little bit on the coattails of Bill Russell.
Yeah, you think?
But then he was a head coach and he won 2 championships as a head coach
Without
and
Bill Russell.
announcer for years.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Well, I'm gonna skip my second pick actually, and I'm gonna go, or I don't know, because both of these guys are in the division in their history. You know what? I'm going to the Cowboys. It's Tom Landry
All
is my
right, he
pick
was
number
on my
two.
list. Yeah,
Yeah, Tom Landry
that's
number two.
that's hard to argue. Great resume, great guy.
Mhm.
Always loved the fact that he wore the top hat and the suit on it. He always looked like non-football. But
Yep.
no, fair pick.
Hmm.
All right, so I'm going to go with Tom Seaver.
He was on my list. A little bit down. He wasn't even the top baseball player on my list though, but we'll get to that. But yeah, Tom Seaver, number 18 overall in wins in history. So solid pick, top 20 wins as a pitcher. All right, all right. My next up, I'm going to stick into the football realm since you're giving me these picks. Tom Coughlin upset the 17-0
Oh, wow.
Patriots. Won 2 Super Bowls over there in New York. Gets a lot of credit for that over there. And so my number 3 pick, I'm going Tom Coughlin.
Wow, I did not see. That's a good one because I totally missed that on my searches. All right. Um, are we going with the greatest or just guys I like?
Your picks. It's your
I'm
picks.
going with the guy I like. The heavy guy on the Capitals, Tom Wilson.
You're going number 3, Tom Wilson. Redskins fan 10 agrees with you. Well done. All right, here's my first baseball player. Tommy John has a surgery named after him, but he also
Oh,
played
good one.
26 years in the MLB and had more wins after the surgery than he did before the surgery. Won a World Series. So I'm going Tommy John as my number
Wow.
4 pick in my draft. Man, I got my top
Ah,
4
now,
picks. You didn't take any of my top 4. Wow. That's going
all
to be
right. So
rare,
how many are
probably.
we down to? How many have we picked?
This is going to be your pick number 4.
But we're doing 5 each, right? Or we're
Yep. So
doing
your
10
pick 4.
each?
So I have one more pick. You have 2 more picks. Wait, did the Bears actually trade the number 1 pick? Or are you just saying they should? Bears likely to
gotta look
trade
at
number
this.
1. Absolutely, good pick. Good move if they do. All right, who's your number 4?
All right. Why can't you give me this guy's record? I don't know if I should pull.
Who is it? Or
No,
the what?
but he's not that good. I'm Thibodeau, ex-coach, but
Oh, Tom Thibodeau.
I'm gonna
Interesting. He was not on my list. Oh, but go ahead. Who's your number 4?
no, but I have to go with Tommy Lasorda,
All right, Tommy is Lasorda good.
the
I really
A
wanted to make that joke as soon as
coach.
I read that name. But yeah, 2-time World Series champ as a coach, right? As a manager. They call them managers in baseball. But
Yeah, I
all right.
think.
He was on my
Yeah, I
list. He
wanted
was
to,
definitely on my list.
and my computer is not.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, since I have
he's
him, I'm
what's
going
his
to
stat?
go.
It's so.
Somebody said it in the chat. He was number 5 on my list. So I'll go with him. So I ended up getting my top 5 that I wrote down. Thomas Hearns. So Tommy Hearns, boxer, went 61
Oh,
and
the
5, one
boxer.
draw. And his first loss came after being 32-0 to Sugar Ray Leonard. He got the rematch. Everybody said he should have won. Instead, they announced it as a draw. So that was his only draw on his resume. But a 61-5 record, fought in multiple weight classes. I'm going Thomas Hearns is my last one. So who's your last pick of the draft?
Wait, hold on. Let's see what I'd. So I'm gonna pull the PGA out and go with Tom Watson.
Tom Watson. Interesting.
He
Okay.
won. He
Again,
won
not on
the
my list. Very
British
interesting.
Open, champion. Uh, he won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 majors. So yeah, that's my last pick.
Solid. All right. Well, there you go. My honorable mentions, I guess I'll just say this. I had Tom Flores, Raiders coach that replaced Madden, and he ended up winning a Super Bowl. Two Super Bowls as a head coach, 3 as a assistant, or including his assistant coach. Thomas Billing, the Dynamite Kid. I know there was
Oh
some
wow.
wrestling fans in the chat before. And then for Dr. Pig, if he hears this, this is for Dr. Pig. If you're not here and you hear this later, you got to comment. He's the bottom of my list. My worst pick of the draft, Tom Lavero. Worst voice in radio. Worst voice in sports radio. Had to mention him with the Toms. But anyway, all right. That was
Well,
fun.
hold on. I wanted to mention how many people in the chat remember Tom Gugliotta. He
Tom
played
Gugliotta.
3 years. Hold on, I'm looking at his career.
Mm-hmm.
He played 3 years with the Wizards. He played with the Warriors, Timberwolves, Suns, Jazz, Celtics, and Hawks. So he was around from 92 through 2004. He wasn't
The
he
arena
wasn't
I
good.
watched that fight in was destroyed after that decision. Wow. Ouch. Tom Gogo who now? Oh, that's too funny. All right, well, that was fun. There, we'll come up with a new topic next week, and we'll have another draft. All right, cool. Michael Starkey says he remembers Tom Gugliano. So there you go.
Gugliotta.
Gugliotta. See, I already forgot, and you just said his name, so I'm sure I'll
No,
forget
he
that
was
one
a big
again.
time. He was a draft pick. They thought he was going to be some big, you know,
Hit the
hit.
next big thing.
He wasn't. I mean, he'd lasted obviously like 15 years in the league, so he wasn't a total
Complete
scrub, but he
zero.
wasn't what the Wizards hoped he was. So
Fair. All right. Well, okay. Well, couple of things to discuss with the Washington Commanders news, starting with the great Bobby Beathard, the GM, longtime GM for Washington, hired Joe Gibbs, passes today at 86 years old. Don't know exactly what he passed from, but assuming 86, I'm sure there had some sort of disease that got him. You know, if you live long enough, you're going to catch something. But shout out to Bobby Beathard, and you were alive in those days, so you had some
oh,
interesting things to
Starkey,
say.
that's exactly right. Gugliotta was kind of like Christian Leitner.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. That's a good comp. Okay.
Yeah, rest in peace, Bobby. Charlie Casserly was on his coattails, couldn't do what he did. Then, of course, Vinny Serrato came in and couldn't do what either one of them could. But
Yep.
yeah, Bobby was a great
Alzheimer's
talent
disease.
guy.
Got it. He got Alzheimer's. Sad. Alzheimer's is terrible. It's the worst way. I told Selena, if I ever get Alzheimer's and I'm like out of it, just put me down. Just don't spend millions of dollars on me to go to some home where I'm not even there anymore. Oh, it's sad. It's very, very sad. But anyway, that's how I feel about it. All right. Shout out Bobby Beathard. Rest in peace. And thank you for
Yes,
everything you did for
rest in peace.
Washington,
Yep.
including putting his son in, or a grandson in the NFL. And he played for us for a hot second. I don't know if he ever started a game. CJ Beathard. I know he started with San Francisco, but I feel like he was on our team at some point, like on the bench. But anyway, all right, Washington interviews Anthony Lynn, who was on the Niners staff. Of course, Niners just got eliminated. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But he apparently was their running backs coach, an assistant to the head coach as well, former coach of the Chargers. I actually thought Anthony Lynn got a kind of a crap into the stick over there in Los Angeles and kind of got let go a little bit too early. I actually didn't mind Anthony Lynn over there in Los Angeles,
Wait,
but he got
Los
fired.
Angeles or 49ers?
When he was a head coach, he was the Chargers. Head coach of Los Angeles
Okay,
Chargers.
gotcha.
Right now, he's on
Sorry.
the coaching staff of the Niners. He got fired for Brandon Staley 2 years ago when he was the head coach, and he kind of got a lot of team was injured quite often with Bosa never seeming to be able to play. Ingram, I think, got hurt. A lot of their team got really beat up the 2 years that he was there, and kind of got crapped on for it. And I actually would not mind this hire at all. If Washington pulls off Anthony Lynn, I think this should actually. He's coming from a great staff over there, and I liked him in Los Angeles. So shout out
So
Anthony
let me
Lynn.
ask you that before we move on. I've read a lot about people saying that no one of any quality is going to come when the ownership is in question.
Mm-hmm.
So, assuming what we've heard is true, that Dan is selling the team to somebody, do you think it's wise to make this decision now? Or do you think you hold off until the ownership thing's figured out next year or so, or however long it takes?
To do a new head coach or new what? Sorry.
No. Just an offensive court. I mean,
Well, you got
with
to
this
hire
guy,
somebody, but I think Anthony Lynn may end up taking the job, another opportunity as OC, and some people are viewing this job opportunity as a potential
launching to another head coach.
well, launching to the head coach of this team. Like they're gonna have first shot if they don't want Ron Rivera anymore. They're gonna have first shot to interview with them already being in the door with ownership, the new ownership, and maybe you
Yeah,
can have an opportunity at elevating yourself as head coach of this team. Like that's why people think Eric Bieniemy, the coach, the offense coordinator of Kansas City, that he may be interested in coming here because that might be a way that he could just get elevated to head coach. Or if
no,
Ron
I
Rivera gets fired as midseason. But go ahead. Sorry.
no, I get what you're saying. The question is, do you do that? I mean, is it getting in the door before the new ownership comes in gives you a leg up, or does that give you a leg out because the new ownership comes in and says, "No, we want to clean house. We want to set up our own coaching staff and let the head coach come in and pick it." Do you, as a Bienemy or a Lynn, is it wise? And again, I don't know. I'm saying this as an honest question. I don't know. Is it wise to get in the door because you'll have a leg up? Or is it if you're in the door when the new ownership comes in, they're like, everybody get out because we want the new head coach to pick his staff? That's, again, it's an honest question. I don't know the answer to it. I've heard a lot on both sides.
I think honestly, I don't think either one of those should be in consideration if I'm the new potential coach. I think what the only thing that should matter is can I succeed with what they have on offense right now? Can I put together an offense that will look great on a resume to elevate myself to a head coaching job again? And if the answer to that is yes, then I think anybody should want this job, surefire. Unless, of course, you're coming from like I don't know why Eric Bieniemy would want this job if he can just stay in Kansas City as already as an OC. But if you don't currently have an OC job and nobody else is going to hire you, I think jumping on this opportunity is 100%. If you think that, if you like it, if you don't like Sam Howell, if you don't like the offensive line, which I don't blame you, but if you don't
No,
like
that's the
the
only question.
directions, yeah,
In my mind, that's the only problem right now with this offense. Whether
right,
or not they're going to be good or not, I don't know. But until you fix the offensive line, then I don't think anything else is in question, whether it's Howe or Heineke or anybody else.
true. Yeah, I don't know. I hope we hire Anthony Lynn. I actually don't mind this. I think some people don't like. I would like Thomas Brown because I want some young blood in here, but I think Anthony Lynn. I would prefer him over like Pat Shermer. I would prefer him over who else? Um, Greg Roman. Please no Greg Roman. I'm glad we didn't get Nathaniel Hackett. Like there could be a lot worse picks in my opinion than Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn might be number 2 on my list behind Thomas Brown because I want young blood.
Nope, I get that. That's valid. Here's
Mhm,
a question from Bienemy.
mhm,
How much, and again, honest question, I don't know the answer to this, but Andy Reid is an offensive guru.
100%.
He is, I can't imagine he's not involved on the offense. So
Mhm.
Bienemy being the offensive coordinator behind him, how much is it him and how much is it Andy Reid? And does Andy stand back and say, you run it the way you want? Or is Andy got a real tight leash on him? Maybe he wants the opportunity to go somewhere where he's not under Andy Reid to say, no, I can run an offense without Andy Reid being or me being overshadowed or in his shadow.
Uh, Obviously, that's the huge knock on Eric Bieniemy, and then another huge knock is he's been interviewed for a head coach like some crazy amount of times. I don't want to make it up, but I'm going to. Maybe 7 to 9 times or something
Oh,
crazy like that.
I know it's been a lot. I
Yeah,
don't know the number,
it
but
might even
you're
be
right.
11. I don't know. It's been absurd. So there's a couple of reasons that Eric Bieniemy is not very interesting. My main thing is that Eric Bieniemy has only been there with Pat Mahomes. And Pat Mahomes, I don't want a coach that already has a top-notch quarterback. That's why I would not have want Nathaniel Hackett being hired by with Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't want Byron Leftwich with Tom Brady. I wouldn't want like I don't know, go back in time Adam Gase with Peyton Manning. If they already have a top flight quarterback, that quarterback is going to make a lot of their blemishes disappear. They're basically cover up for a coach, right? And that I want somebody that doesn't have a top-notch quarterback that has elevated his team past that. That's why I like Ben Johnson for Detroit, the offensive
Right.
coordinator. That's why I like
Yep.
Shane Waldron, who rejuvenated Geno Smith's career. I I like Anthony Lynn, who I thought did a great job elevating Justin Herbert at the time that he was there. Like I think he was there for Justin Herbert's rookie season that he went absolutely off in a COVID year, number 6 overall pick that a lot of people said he was not quite ready for the NFL, and then he elevated him to what he's become. So, and that's why like Brian Dable, Josh Allen was not great before Brian Dable really took off with him, right? Like he had potential, but Josh Allen did not come out the gate like gangbusters. So anyway, I'm cool with Anthony Lynn if that's the direction we go, even though my top choice is Thomas Brown. You know what? I'm not even gonna talk about this anymore. I don't even care.
No, I was just
Erase
going to
that.
say Santiago. Look, I brought
Yeah.
this up a week or two ago about Ron's plan
Hmm.
in building a team, and he said it's going to take a while. And if you look at it pragmatically, he's built a great defense.
Hmm.
He's built, I'd say, 80% of a great defense, and he's built probably similar percentage of a good offense, and he doesn't have an offensive line yet. So if he gets an offensive line, if Ron Rivera stays there and gets an offensive line and gets, I know we even talked about whether or not Turner should have been kept. I don't care that they let him go, but if they get an offensive line and get a couple key pieces in defense,
Hmm.
I think this is a really good team. And this is Ron. This is Ron's doing. So you can say that, oh, he can't win. No, he said, I'm going to build a team from the ground up. And I think he's done a lot of the components, and we're only a couple, two, three components out of it. Right? I mean,
Quarterback, it will. I don't think so. I guess if Sam Howell can succeed, that'd be nice. But that's something we haven't had in the last couple of years. Is any competence at quarterback? Well, you know, Heineke, God bless him, but he's not great. Um, Offensive coordinator, we need offensive line. 100%, we need linebackers. Linebackers are a problem, and then probably one more corner, and then the rest of the roster I think would be okay. I don't know. There's a couple of things that we need, or you know what? I don't even know if they're necessarily needs or just like wants at some point. Definitely need O-line though. 100%
oh,
is a need.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, you look at the positives, a great receiving core, I think a great running back core, um, arguably competent quarterbacks, an
Mhm.
offensive line that's completely inept. We have a great front line. Um, we need linebackers and we need one more corner. So, I mean, when Ron came here, he said, I need time to build a team. It's not going to happen tomorrow. I need 3, 4 years, whatever. I need time to build a team. And maybe this is what happens to a lot of teams is you got a guy that's executing his plan and say what you would about Heineke, and I know he's got a weak arm and he's not the guy. I'm not arguing that. But we won what, 7 games in a row, 6 games in a row?
It was not 7 for sure. It was 5 or 6. No, wait, we didn't win 5. Oh, sorry, we won 6 games with them, but not in a row because Minnesota's loss was in the middle there. But yeah, we won. We went like 6-1 with them, I think.
So again, I think we're a few key pieces away.
Mm-hmm.
We get whether it's Sam Howell, I don't know. He's got an arm, but is he the guy? I don't know.
Right.
But
Well, we'll see.
I we'll
I
see.
agree. We'll see. I hope we hire Anthony Lynn. That'll be interesting. I hope we don't go a quarterback. I know somebody said it's a prediction of Carr to Washington, Garoppolo. What up, Josh Taylor or Jared Taylor? Rather, excuse me. No, no, thank
I
you. I don't
don't
want
want
that at all.
Carr. I do not want
Yeah.
Carr.
I like what Ref the District Trev said. He did a little short, and they've been doing like rank your quarterbacks, and one of them was Derek Carr, and he starts like acting like he was crying, like Derek Carr was, and he goes, and then I realized he's not on my list at all. Don't want him. Get away from me. Like I'm not even adding him to my. He's not even in my top 10. So brutal. All
Yeah,
right, you ready?
I don't
Yeah.
want Tom Brady. I don't want Aaron Rodgers. I
Right.
don't want Russell Wilson. I don't want Derek Carr. I see this all the time going, hey, what if we could sign? No, I do not want to retread. If it's
Yep.
Sam Howell, give him a chance. If it's not, then find somebody else. But stop trying to pull in that, you know, great savior of the team. Like, oh, if we bring in this quarterback, everything's going to be right. No, we're building a team,
You
and
have
I
a
think
fan
we're
in
going
there?
to. What's that?
Do you have a fan?
I do. It's
Your
my
Redskins
ceiling fan.
blanket's moving. He thinks it's a ghost. But
No, I
JW said
got
Ron's
my.
son his growth by discount basement shopping. He has been doing every free agency since he's been here. Not to mention the fact that he didn't even try to address the QB situation. I mean, I completely disagree. Didn't try to address. I mean, he made a 2 draft pick trade and moved back. So definitely tried to address it. Yeah, there he goes. Trucker with A with his 4.99. Appreciate the super chat saying 2 words. Sam Howell.
Look, I want to see what Sam does. Look, Carson Wentz was a terrible
What's up, Paul?
decision.
Yeah.
They He took a shot. It was a bad decision. No defense.
Hmm.
But I'm not ready to write the book on Sam Howell or Heineke as a backup. We
Right.
need an offensive line and see what he can do. Because
True.
Sam
True.
Howell kicked Dallas's butt, and I love the Dallas Cowboys fans going, "Oh, we handed you that game." No, you did not. Your
This
starting
is true.
lineup,
Ron does like vets. This is very true.
it
And
is true.
I hope that's wrong. I hope they give the 5th round pick a chance. I really do. But it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. But I'm so disappointed that he didn't start. Earlier. He 1000% showed that he should have been in the game way earlier than he was. And the fact that they even thought about going Heineke. Anyway, I know that you're trying to defend Ron, and I don't hate your defensive Ron. I think it's well thought out. I just still dislike
No, I
what
didn't
Ron's
defend him.
done.
I asked a question.
Oh
Is
well,
he not? Is he
oh
not
well. If that's your
delivering?
question, I would say I disagree with the question, and no, I don't think that this is fair because you could see teams that have. I think he has enough talent to win more than 8 games, even on the roster right now, and they're not using it well. They're screwing and they just completely wasted money on William Jackson on a guy that they knew was not a
No,
zone
good
corner
point.
man to man. They took forever to go to Landon Collins in the linebacker spot. Instead, they continuously put him in the safety and got torched doing it over and over again. Like there's so many things that they've done over the years that makes you want to pull your eyes out, that it's just so frustrating to watch, and especially on a roster building part. And I don't even get me started on last year's draft. But anyway, all right.
No, fair enough. Let's move
Yeah.
along.
All right. Around the league. Tom Brady released a short little video on Twitter this time. He said, I'm not putting out any big, you know, thank yous or anything. Like,
No,
I'm not
he
doing
said I
long
got my
videos.
chance to do that last year. I'm just saying I'm retiring. And
Yeah.
I say
And
we spend as much time on him retiring as he did today. Okay, next subject.
true. But shout out Tom Brady, the GOAT. Uh, I guess he still has to have like a speech though, right? Like he's gotta go like actually do a speech like Peyton Manning did, right? Like, yeah, he wrote a nice thing out on Twitter, but he's got to go in front. Like, it's still a thing, right? Oh, you know what? Let me just touch on this. I just read what happened to Josh Sills. If true, throw him in jail. Put the book at him. I don't really want to discuss it too much. I can tell you after the show, but it's just gross and disgusting. And if true, I have no clue if it's true or not. That he's just being accused of this, and I'm just going to leave it vague. If you want to look it up, go for it. But it's gross, and I think somebody said earlier like a year suspension. No, that guy should be absolutely thrown in jail if true. But anyway, you can look it up too if you want now. But yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. All right, other than what I just said. All right, but no, back to Tom Brady. I think he has to do a speech. That would be fun, and I just think it's hilarious that last year he did not mention Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Like, there has to be some real animosity between those two. Real animosity.
Wait,
That he didn't
between
even mention the coach that he was with for what, 18 years? 20 years? 19 years?
did he mention last year when he was almost going to retire?
No, I'm saying last year in his long thing. They never mentioned Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Or maybe he mentioned something of the Patriots, but he never mentioned Bill Belichick. Like, if Pat Mahomes were to retire tomorrow, he is gushing over Andy Reid.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about a different situation. And again, from a distant view, I don't know, but we can say, or the subject or the discussion can be that um, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick came to an agreement that he was going to move on. I don't think so. I think Bill Belichick said, get out of here because I want to go in a different direction. And that probably pissed Tom off. And he's always great in public. Like he's not going to throw him under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's like, okay, I gave you, in Tom Brady's eyes, we worked together. Let's put it that way. We worked together for 18 years and won a lot of Super Bowls. And
Yep.
now you're going to tell me you're going to dictate to me when I retire. And by the way, how's that worked out for you? Bill Belichick isn't like gangbusters doing anything else. So
Missed the
maybe he's
playoffs
like, yeah,
2 out of 3
maybe
years.
it's like, maybe Tom didn't throw him under the bus. Maybe he threw Tom under the bus and he's like, you know what? Tom's going to be like, we won because of me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So just a thought.
And the argument grows every time. It just continues to grow. Like, is he that great of a coach or is he not? I think he still is pretty good, but we'll see. All right. So shout out Tom Brady. Hopefully you actually stay retired this time because I don't want you to be Brett Favre 2.0.
He's going to try to get back with Giselle because he realized he made a bad decision last year.
And I hope it works out for him. I hope it works out.
No, I have nothing or wish nothing but the best for him.
All right. So there's 2 head coaching decisions that I want to talk about. 2 head coaching decisions that were hired officially, made official. One, I think is really good. Solid hire. And the other one, I think, is one of the dumbest moves I've seen in a while.
Wow, that kind of covers the whole gambit, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
literally.
Got here and here.
So, good or bad? What are we starting with?
Well, I assume Sean Payton is the good one.
No,
Oh, he's a has been.
I have thoughts on this.
He's putting a lot of pounds on. I've noticed him now. His cheeks are filling out.
That is the only reason why I hate him. Terrible decision. How do you hire a fat guy, Andy Reid?
He's starting to look like what's his name from Dallas? I just totally drew.
McCarthy?
Yeah, he looks like he's had one too many donuts.
All right, let's just go there since that's where we started. I think this was stupid by Denver. Why in the world would you trade a first, a second, and a third for a head coach?
And paying him like $14 million a year, right? It's something stupid.
I don't care about the money as far as coaching hires because it doesn't affect the cap space. See, like I talk a lot about money only because it affects cap space. It's a cap space league. That's all I care about. If there wasn't cap space, I wouldn't mind these players getting paid $1 billion a year. I don't care. Doesn't affect me at all, other than when it comes to cap. So coaching hires, I don't care. Pay them what you want as long as you can afford it, I guess. But anyway, you already sold out your future trading everything for Russell Wilson, which I thought was stupid at the time, and paid him like $50 million a year.
And it hasn't worked
Stupid.
out too well.
Yeah, terrible year that they had. Now you're adding to it by hiring a coach that absolutely put the Saints in the tanker with the cap decisions that they made, and now they're still trying to dig themselves or put themselves out of this hole over there in wherever I'm talking about, New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as
No, it's a
Drew
good
Brees
point.
retires, that he's gone. Like Sean Payton, he was a really, really, really good coach when in New Orleans as far as in-game decisions, a offensive schematically, he's really, really good. There's things to like about Sean Payton. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah, but didn't he ride the coattails of Drew Brees?
Potentially, you could say that. And even with Drew Brees, they had years where they were 8-8, 7-9. Even with Drew Brees.
That's what I'm saying. So was he a really great coach, or did he have a good quarterback that bailed him out?
I mean, I will give him credit because when he had Teddy Bridgewater came in, he did a great job with Teddy. I think they went like 6-1 or 7-2 or something crazy. Like he had a really good record when he lost his whatever it was. When he lost Drew Brees for that time that he was. So I'm not going to hate him on him so much as a coach, but there's so much young talent. There's so many interesting prospects that you could have gone with, and you could have had a coach for 2-3 decades potentially, like the Steelers, right? Hire coaches young and let them freaking ride and see how they do. Like it's terrible, terrible GM or team president, whatever his name is, John Elway, whoever's making the decision, I think is absolutely ridiculous. And he's putting Denver in an absolute crap show with no first round picks again. And now they're going to bank on hopefully this works out for only a short time. This is not going to be a long term situation. They basically open their window up for one season, in my opinion, and that's next year. If they can add the right pieces and get Russell Wilson right, you have one season, if that. But I don't even think they will. I think their chances of winning next year are like 25% at best, and I think that's being kind. And I even say winning season. Like I don't like their team. But anyway, that's how I feel about that one.
By the way, before you move to the other one, I've talked to two different Steelers fans, guys that grew up in near Pittsburgh. They cannot stand Mike Tomlin.
I just think that's ridiculous. They don't know how good they have it.
Well, I'm saying he's only won one playoff game since 2011. He hasn't done. Yes, he won a Super Bowl long time ago, but they're like he is not the guy anymore. And if you looked at their record in the playoffs, I mean, I'm just saying they're just saying he's not the guy, and he. Anyway, I know you disagree, but
yeah, I mean, a coach that's never had a losing season in his career. And yes, it's hard to win in the playoffs. And there's situations with injuries or they're this, they're that, whatever. And I think he does a great job leading men, and he always hits on wide receivers. The roster is talented, just needs to stay healthy. Like TJ Watt seems to get hurt all the time, which is unfortunate. They have talent over there for sure. They'll see if Kenny Pickett can grow into something good. I don't know. I love what the Steelers organization does. They hire a coach, they stick with them, and let's do this thing. And I think they do it right. And I think Mike Tomlin has shown why he's a pretty darn good coach over and over again. Is he like the best coach ever? No, that's fine. But he is completely worthy of keeping his job year in and year out, in my opinion. But what do I know? I
Well,
don't
I'm
watch
looking
a
at his
ton of Steelers
record:
games.
nine
Yeah.
and eight, 9-7, 12-4, 8-8, 9-6, 13-3. That's pretty good. 11-5, 10-6, 11-5, 8-8, 8-8, 12-4. So you're right. He's never had a losing season, but
Mhm.
his postseason record is 8-9.
8-9.
Yeah.
Not great. Could be better. But I think they could do a lot worse than Mike Tomlin. A lot worse. And it is what it is. Those Pittsburgh people also say the same, that Ovechkin should retire. What did you think of the Sean trade? I just went over that. I hate it. It's terrible. All right. The Texans made the other hire. D'Amico Ryans gets the job right after they lose. He knew he wanted to go to the Texans. He played there. I think this is a great hire by the Texans. And it's funny, not that I really buy into all these racial angles, but for a team that gets accused of being racist over and over again with all their head coaches, I think they've hired 4 straight black coaches. Now, they don't give them any time to do anything, which is stupid, but they hire another one, D'Amico Ryan, and I think it's a tremendous hire. I think it's the best hire that they've made in the last several years. Way better than Bill O'Brien, the one they had for a while. So, they have a defensive-minded head coach. They'll add picks and or they have picks rather, because I think they've gotten rid of all of them, and also they've made the trade to get rid of Watson. So they'll have a couple of picks, try to build that roster and give that roster 2-3 years if they can hit the quarterback spot. I like Houston. They have the number 2 pick overall right now. I think D'Amico Ryans was a great hire for the Texans. All right, you ready to hop into these 2 football games?
I am.
Over that what you just played? That were just played rather? All right, let's start with the first one that was played, the NFC Championship game between the 1 and 2 seed of the NFC. Did not live up to expectations, unfortunately, because something happened in the first drive of San Francisco's game. They lost their quarterback that was playing well to a torn UCL. Speaking of Tommy John, he needs Tommy John surgery, actually, because of the injury he got. But anyway, what do you think about this one? Do you think the Eagles are for real, or do you think they're weak sauce and just have had a cupcake schedule to get here?
No, I think they got a lot of good moving parts in that team. I would have loved to see them play the 49ers at full strength. Um, I turned the game off when early in the second half, when it's like their quarterback, every play was a running play. And look, the Eagles performed against the number 1 defense, no argument there. But I just wanted to see a game. It was so disappointing to see a team that they were basically non-functional, their offense
Mm-hmm.
was. So, and I know you picked the Eagles. I would have liked to see the game played when the 49ers could have met. I mean, their defense was on the field a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. What was the
it's
time of possession in this game?
I can't even imagine,
37
but
and a half to 22 and a half.
yeah.
Destroyed them on time of possession.
So I know that the announcers were like, "Oh, the Philadelphia offense is for real. They're beating up a number one defense." It's like, no. And look, it's football. I'm not making excuses, but don't tell me that Philadelphia totally blew up the San Francisco defense when the defense had no backup at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would like to see the game played. I know there's always injuries involved, but I would
Mhm.
like to see the game played with at least some kind of comparable talent. I look, I think Philadelphia's got a lot of good. Sirianno, is that his name?
Sirianni. Yeah.
Sirianni, thank you. I think he's a great coach. He's a great motivator.
Hmm.
Um, we'll see what happens in the Super Bowl, but I was very disappointed in that game. It was like, oh, that's so disappointing that you had a team that was basically limping on the field. So,
Yep. Well, I had the Eagles winning this game by 10 anyway. But yeah, as soon as Brock Purdy went down and Josh Johnson comes running on the field, you knew this game was going to get ugly from then on.
well, and then he gets hurt, and then Brock Purdy's back out, and he's got a blown out what's a tendon or something
UCL.
in his elbow. Yeah,
UCL. Yeah.
he could not throw the ball. The fact I will say this, the fact that the 49ers made any first downs at all, which they
Uh,
did, it was like to tell a defense like Philadelphia, don't have to worry about the pass. Just put 11 guys in the box and
yeah.
just
I mean,
and
Jason Kelsey said it on his show on the New Heights. He was like, I'm standing on the sideline. And I'm like, am I supposed to feel bad for these guys? And then like another play happened. He goes, I do feel bad for these guys. This sucks. Like, it's like they
yeah.
just have no chance when you can't throw the football at all. And yeah, I completely agree. And it does suck for the Niners. Purdy went 4 for 4 in the game. Interesting.
By the way, I think we had this discussion earlier in this year. There was a guy I want to say was like a linebacker or something that came in and played quarterback and was actually executing plays, and I could not find the reference to it. Maybe somebody on the chat will remember, but the guy was like running the offense and actually producing, and I can't remember the game or the team. I apologize. I couldn't find it. But the dude was like linebacker size, and maybe he was a running back. I don't know.
I know there was the
But
Broncos game in the COVID year that he had to step in and because all the quarterbacks got eliminated from the game because they all had contact tracing of COVID and whatnot. And it was a running back, but I don't know what size he was, but I do know that situation. But anyway, yeah, it's unfortunate this whole game. But I don't know. Are the Eagles for real in your mind, or is this because technically they had the easiest schedule in the league. They beat up on the Giants, who are a building team with Daniel Jones, and then they just beat the heck out of the Niners, who had no quarterback to speak
well,
of.
and they're going to play Patrick Mahomes with a bum leg. So it's hard. I can't tell you. I mean, they're good. I'm not saying they're not good,
Yeah.
but the Redskins beat them. So, but I'm just saying it's going to be hard to say if Patrick Mahomes is not 100%, not even near 100%.
Yeah.
So they're lucky to even be if uh, Cincinnati's defender doesn't make a stupid play out of bounds, and we can
Yeah.
talk about that game in a minute.
We
But
will. We will.
it's if he doesn't make a stupid play out of bounds, Kansas City might not even be there. I would say with the way Patrick Mahomes is,
Uh-huh.
I would think Cincinnati has a better chance against Philadelphia than KC does. Just my thoughts.
Interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Because Pat Mahomes is a bad man, as Stephen A would
He
like to
is.
say. But we'll talk more about that game in a minute. But coming back to this game. So there was a play, 4th and 3, opening drive. Eagles have the ball, throw it down. What Devontae Smith appears to make what looks like an absolutely incredible catch. He gets up, signals to his team. This is their signal, apparently, that, hey, let's go. We got to go now. I didn't catch that before they throw the challenge flag. Go. But he gets up immediately and starts going like, mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
They get a play off in about less than 20 seconds. Kyle Shanahan never throws the flag. There's two schools of thought. Kyle Shanahan messed up tremendously, or the Eagles did an absolute stellar job and didn't give Kyle Shanahan a chance. Do you blame Kyle for not getting the challenge flag out?
No, I blame the NFL that they don't have somebody up in the booth that can call that play. They have the quick look, they use, what do they call it? The quick replay where somebody
Replay assist.
where the guys upstairs will tell the refs. No, I don't blame the teams at all. I blame the NFL. It's like, you can't get that call right. Right? Where's the quick assist? They don't see that. Do they not see it? You saw it. Apparently 100,000, maybe 1 million people saw it, but the NFL can't get the quick assist to say, by the way, that was an incomplete pass. So I don't blame the teams at all. I blame the NFL because they let this stuff go on by design.
By design.
They love the Monday morning. Look, and I had a friend of mine tell me years ago, the NFL loves the Monday morning water cooler talk. My team got screwed, or your team did this, or that's what they like. That's what keeps the interest there.
Yeah, I don't blame Kyle Shanahan in the moment. I really don't. I mean, the play was off so fast. They never showed the replay in the stadium, so he couldn't get an eye.
I wonder why.
Yep. And everybody's like, "Oh, they should have known by Devontae Smith." I watched the replay. That to me does not scream he's saying that we have to hurry up. He's not, get over here. Let's go. Go. Like, it's that to me could be a celebration. I have no idea. Like, it looks like he's flexing.
And who knows? Maybe if he's smart enough, he makes the catch and he jumps up and he makes Kyle Shanahan think he didn't. And he starts doing this, and Kyle Shanahan throws the flag and loses a timeout. Then he's a freaking genius.
Yeah. Right.
So
and also,
you can't blame
the
it on the
Eagles are
teams.
known to go quick snap after a big play. Like, they will hurry up and get the defense off. Like, so them hurrying to the line is not some signal that, oh, wait, there's something, precarious here. Or in what's the word I want to say? But anyway.
No, I'll go back to this.
Yeah.
I will say it again, that the NFL has decided in the last 2 minutes of a game, all challenges go upstairs. And damn if they don't look at every possible play and call upstairs and go, wait, hold on, we're going to look at it. Why the last 2 minutes? They have the capability within like 30 seconds or 45 seconds to get the call right. Why in the last 2 minutes? Why do they lay the challenge?
Thank you, Skin Them Alive. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Why is it the NFL puts it on the coaches, then lets us argue that the coaches didn't make the call, didn't make a stupid call, whatever. It is designed to make people sit there on Monday morning. Yes. And again, I want to know, what was the Vegas angle on the bets? Look, you can laugh all you want. I've been in pick'em leagues for a long time, and one of my categories is if Vegas has 75 to 80% bet on one side, I almost 100% choose the other.
Yeah.
And I'm right a lot of the times. So is it a coincidence? I'm just saying the NFL has the capability and the technology to make these calls right, and they don't. Why?
Well, the goal is to make it so the game does not get slowed down, right? And I think they will make an adjustment after this one. And
yeah, because they never take. I'm sorry, because they never take 5 minutes inside of 2 minutes to get a call right. They never do that.
Yeah, but inside the 2 minutes, they've decided that that's obviously well, like most people would decide the last 2 minutes is the most important time in a football game, right? Like because that's when a game is decided most of the time is you want to get those last few calls right. You don't want the very end to get it right, but or to get it wrong in the very end, even though they do anyway several times. I mean,
So why'd
there's
they
it's
start this
also an
quick assist?
interesting because there's also like a balance, right? Do we want do we want because to your point that they may want this, but do we want it to completely just go computerized on the refs?
No, Tim, I'm
Yeah.
saying this. If it's a 3-yard gain, I don't care. If
Uh-huh.
it's a 40-yard gain, I do. One way or the other. And look, it's going to
Mhm.
bite me in the ass as a Redskins fan. It's going to bite me so many times. But if it's like a 2-yard play, no, I don't care. You messed up, fine. But when it's a game changing play,
Yeah.
a first down, 40-yard gain, or 35 or 50 yards, then they have to make a decision like, okay, you know what? We're going to take a look at that and make sure we got it right.
On
That
a
won't
4th and
slow the
3
game.
play that put them in the red zone, yeah, that should be definitely be one that it's almost as important as a turnover worthy play. Like they review all turnover worthy plays. 4th down conversions should be added to that list.
Right. It's like, I will say this. I've seen the refs on a first and goal,
Uh-huh.
and the team gets down to the half-yard line, and they're arguing about whether his knee was down or he got in.
Uh-huh.
I would argue that's less important. If you're down at like the 1 foot line and they're arguing about whether or not you got in, fine, give them the touchdown, don't give them the touchdown. But when you're talking about something of that magnitude, you've got to.
Uh-oh. We lost your camera
My
and
monitor's just.
oh, okay. You threw the flag, especially in the first half. You throw the
All
flag,
right.
especially in the first half.
I don't know what just happened. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but we just can't see you. I don't know if you want to leave
Okay.
and
Well,
come
I
back. I can
just
put you back
my
in.
monitor. No, my monitors came back up. Give it a second. I don't know. I think I just have a power glitch. Maybe the NFL heard me talking and they shut it
They're shut him down.
off.
Shut him down.
But it just say I lost. Hold on. Let's see if I can get
If you
back
leave
up.
and come back in, like just hit the link again, I can add you back in. But all right, I'm going to say this: you throw the flag in the first half, especially in the first half. Somebody else said Jan was saying he never used any of the timeout, never used a single timeout in the game. It was worth it for a chance. That is so hindsight 2020. That's so hindsight 2020, right? And everybody's just absolutely playing hindsight on this call. 1000%. Obviously, yes, he didn't catch it. I watched the play live and I thought he caught it. I did. And I had no clue that Devontae Smith jumped up and was like giving a signal to his team. I thought it was just a celebration to an absolutely insane catch. And I knew the Eagles got up there and called a play quickly. And everybody's like, oh, that's not a catch. That's not a catch. Some people in the chat, it's like, oh, okay. It's apparently not a catch. So then we looked at it and it's like, oh, it's not a catch. So in that moment, there's that. Right. Some people say they saw it right away. Good for you. But I didn't see it right away. Then on top of that, all right, hopefully he comes back in soon. On top of that, you don't know what timeouts are going to be important or not. Everyone's like, oh, in the first half, your timeouts are worthless. Why? Why are the timeouts worthless in the first half all of a sudden? Why is it just cool to just throw away timeouts for what you're not sure on? Right? And it's not even a tell. Everyone's like, oh, if you see him hurrying up to hurrying up to the line, you got to throw the flag. Obviously, they think they didn't catch it. The Eagles do that. I still don't see your camera, but do I hear you?
Oh, I can. I've heard you the whole time. I
Yeah.
tried to reset my camera. I don't know what's going on, but I can hear you fine.
All
Sorry
right.
that.
We'll just rock it with this. But anyway, you don't know what timeouts are going to be important down the stretch. What if you need those timeouts to get a field goal or a touchdown before the half and the game is decided by 3 or 7 points, right? Like playing hindsight, oh, you never used it in your timeouts. You should have used it on there. Well, thanks, Captain Hindsight, when I'm in the first drive of the game. And you don't know what challenges are also going to come down important when I don't know the result of this one. It's the last game of the season, and I'm just going to waste a challenge flag that might, when I do know later, now I don't have a challenge because I got this one wrong that I wasn't sure of. And I'm not going to just throw a blind challenge flag and hope that I'm right when I don't
No,
know.
I'm going to go back to what I said earlier, which is there are small plays and there are big plays. And the NFL has to have the ability to understand that, hey, this is a big play. 4th and 3, they get a touchdown or first down, sorry, that the NFL can't say, hey, upstairs, did he make the catch or didn't he? And if they're like, well, we're not sure yet, okay, stop the teams from, no, it's not run up and run as fast as you can and try to get, no, it's like you want to get the game right.
Yeah.
So if there's any question at all, and like you said, I've watched them review a play for a half yard on the goal line for 5 minutes. First down and goal. Did he make it in? Did he not? They are upstairs reviewing that play for 5 minutes. They can take 15 freaking seconds to tell the Eagles, no, you can't snap the ball yet. We want it to get right,
Yeah.
not put it on the coach's head of, hey, call a challenge, don't call a challenge.
Yeah. Throw the
Right?
flag. We got it. We got it. We got it wrong. Now it's up to you to fix my mistake.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
call it. Oh, but the other team knows, and like you said, to their point, they know that it wasn't complete, so they're running back to the line. That should be
Yeah.
the first. That should be the first sign to the refs to say, you know what? Hold on, we're going to ask for a quick assist upstairs. Give us 30 seconds.
Right.
Slow down
And
a minute.
you just don't even let them snap it. You don't even have to let them snap it.
Right.
Just stand over the ball for give us 5-10 seconds. We're confirming the catch.
Yeah.
Oh, it was not a catch. Go back, turn over on downs. Like it's that simple. Like, why do you have to get out of their way to make a play? Like,
Yeah. I'd.
it's crazy. But anyway, all right. Eagles move on. I think Eagles are a tremendous team. I think they're very, very legit and have
Oh,
a
no
strong
argument.
case to be the number one team. I don't. I know they have had a cupcake schedule. They have had 2 easy games in the playoffs. That's a fact. But they also are a stacked football team to the brim. Like that roster, like they lost Landon Dickerson, their left guard, and Andre Dillard is running on the field. Oh no, Dad's camera is just absolutely getting obliterated. But he is absolutely like Dillard would start on our team at left tackle, and he is their backup left guard. Like that's how stacked. That's just an example of how stacked this team is. So good luck to the Eagles. I am picking the Eagles, foreshadowing, but I'm not rooting for the Eagles whatsoever. I hope they. I'm rooting for my boy Patty Mahomes. Is what I want. But
My
you back? You back?
apparently my camera's. I think my camera might have fried. I can hear you.
Yep, I can hear you too. All right, so Eagles move on. Now we'll move on to the AFC Championship game between the Chiefs and the Bengals. And this one did not disappoint whatsoever. It again came down to the wire. 23-20. Chiefs get their first victory over the Cincinnati Bengals since Joe Burrow has been there. First question, everybody's talking about it. Were the Bengals cheated?
No, I don't go that far, but I didn't like the intentional grounding call. The play out of bounds was stupid on the Bengals guy.
Mm-hmm.
You had to call that,
Yep.
but the intentional grounding call and he was kind of getting hit as he threw it. I've seen them put their whistle and the flag in their pocket so many times. It's like they were already going to have to punt the ball. Don't give them a 8-yard loss or 10-yard loss and loss of down.
I thought that intentional grounding call was completely correct. Like, obviously correct in my opinion. Like, he threw it directly into the dirt with nobody around. Like, that is the complete spirit of the rule. Like, I said it before the commentators on the TV said it. I saw like during my play-by-play, I was like, "That's intentional grounding." Like, are they going to call intentional grounding? Like, where is anybody? There's nobody in the area. Where's the intentional grounding?
Okay, well let's bring this out a little bit further.
Uh huh.
You have a running back in the backfield,
He's
and you
not in the
throw.
backfield.
Hold on, no,
Huh?
I'm saying a different scenario.
Oh, okay, okay,
You
okay.
have a running back in the backfield, and you throw the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
Is that not intentional grounding?
By the spirit, it's
No,
100%
no, no, no,
intentional
no.
grounding, but it's not intentional grounding by rule.
Okay, but we're talking spirit or rule. I mean,
Both. I mean, I'll talk both, but it's if there's a player in the area, it is not intentional grounding by rule, and I think I'm
well, I'm
fine with that.
telling you that intentional grounding implies intent. And when you throw the ball at somebody's feet, you intend to ground it. So change the rule that if you don't try to make a completion and throw it at a guy because he's an eligible receiver and throw it, sometimes a yard in front of his feet, that is intentional grounding. So change the rule.
I
He
don't.
was under
I'm fine with the
pressure.
rule. I'm fine with the rule though.
He was under pressure
Yep.
and
He threw
maybe
it
he
into the dirt with
intended
nobody around.
well, maybe he intended to throw it better, but he was under pressure and didn't.
I'm fine with the rule of you just got to get it close to somebody because I do think it should be a part of the game that the NFL or the quarterback should be able to throw. Like, I don't think that just because you're in the pocket now, I automatically have to take a sack. There's nothing I can do with the football, and I just have to take the sack. I just
Why?
why?
Because if you're in the pocket and you're going to get sacked and you throw it at somebody's feet to avoid the sack,
Uh-huh.
then that's intentional grounding. If you're outside the pocket, you can do whatever you want to do. But if you're in the pocket, you can't intentionally ground it. But you're saying, well, but if they're close to a guy and they throw him at his feet, they throw it at his feet, that's okay because he's got to have a way out. No, if the defense gets you to the point where you're going to get sacked in the pocket and your answer is to throw the ball at a guy's feet, then you're intending to ground it.
Yeah,
That
well,
is a penalty.
but in that situation, it's like, okay, what's the difference between that an intentional grounding and a bad throw?
Well, you just said that um, Burrow threw the ball. There was nobody there. How do you know it was not just a bad throw?
His
How
arm
do you
wasn't
know?
hit. Like
Well,
he
maybe the ball slipped.
I'm fine with I'm like in that scenario, I'm fine with saying it's an intentional grounding because he's 10 plus yards away from anybody around him and
But
his
maybe
arm
the
was not
ball
impeded.
slipped in his hand.
That's fine. I'm fine. Like, and I'm fine with that edge case being called a penalty if it's that bad. If it's that egregious, I'm fine with the penalty being called. When it's at somebody's feet, ready to hit somebody, or like right there at somebody's feet, I think there's enough leeway to the quarterback that says, "All right, you're attempting to complete the pass, even if you're not technically. I don't know your intent. It's close enough to a receiver. I'm fine with calling that an incomplete pass. But
Well,
if you
then
throw it to somebody, what's up?
don't call it an intentional grounding.
Okay, then call it grounding. I don't care. I don't even know if they call it intentional grounding anymore. Do they call it that,
Oh,
or
they
do they say
absolutely.
grounding?
That's absolutely. It's intentional grounding.
Yeah, is that what the refs say? They may not, but I'm fine. Call it grounding. I don't care. I mean, like obviously it's to get rid of the intentional grounding. I mean, that's the intent of the rule is to eliminate that as much as possible. And it's so I understand why they called it intentional grounding, but like it's I, I don't know. I don't have a problem with how the rule was, and by rule, that was obviously an intentional grounding, in my opinion, because it was his arm was not impeded. He sidearmed it into the ground. Nobody was within 10 yards of where the ball hit the ground, and it had no chance. And I
So
would just
maybe.
say,
So
but yeah,
maybe he should have thrown it 25 yards out of bounds, and then it would have been fine.
If there's as long as there's a receiver in that area,
No, if
like
he throws
at
it
the
out of
general,
bounds past the line of scrimmage, it doesn't matter.
well, only if he gets out of the pocket.
Okay.
If you're outside the tackle box, then you can throw it out of bounds and it doesn't matter. Like they give you the leeway to get out of bounds and then you can throw it. Like that's a part of the rule. I mean,
Unless you're inside the red zone, then you can throw it 30 yards outside the back of the end zone, and it's still inside the pocket.
true. Yeah. And as long as there's a receiver in that general area. Yeah. I mean, and also there's an argument that those should be called intentional grounding. Like if you just launched it into the seventh row of the stadium where there's obviously no chance anybody's calling it, I think calling that intentional grounding is actually completely fair. Nobody ever does, but if you wanted to add that into it of, yeah, you can't just throw it into the third row of the stands, I would be fine with that adjustment.
Okay.
But
Fair
because
enough.
that is definitely a part of the spirit of the rule of this guy's intentionally. Well, I guess it can't be intentional grounding if you threw it up though, because you didn't intentionally ground it and since threw it at the ground.
And intentionally out of bounds.
All right. Anyway, but overall, you don't think the refs, or you don't think the refs screwed the Bengals?
I told you I didn't like that intentional grounding call. I don't think it. I
Well,
mean, look,
overall,
the
the whole game,
Bengals.
there was more than just
No,
that that the people are complaining about.
the Bengals screwed themselves with uh the guy hitting Patrick Mahomes out of bounds. Stupid.
Yeah.
So I can't. I mean, no, I'm not gonna blame it on the refs for them losing that game.
Yeah, I I agree as well. I mean, Joe Burrow threw two bad picks. Like, you have 26 of 41, 270, one touchdown, two picks. You can't really look at the refs. And I don't think there was obviously that other one that was very odd where the ref stopped the play on third down. They ended up not getting the first down and they gave him an extra chance. They ended up getting a first down.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. Obviously, that was just stupid. And that right there could have arguably been a absolutely cheating the Bengals, but the Bengals didn't give up any points on that drive. Like they had to punt it 5 yards or 6 yards past where they were gonna punt it anyway. So it ended up being a difference of 6 yards in the grand scheme of things. P Ryan was 3 yards away from where the ball landed. I like that's just completely false. I mean, do we have to pull up the play?
Yeah, pull up a play, please.
All right. Joe Burrow, intentional grounding. Where's it at? Let's see. Hold on. Bengals rigged because multiple missed calls. Where's the intentional grounding play? Where is it? Come on. Give me the intentional grounding specifically.
Look, all I'm saying, Tim, is that did
Hmm?
not affect the game. They did not need to make that call. They didn't. It would. They were still going
Uh
to have to punt the
well,
ball.
I don't know. Like I think it did affect it a bit because I think it would have been a difference of I don't think it was a fourth down, was it? I thought it was happened on second down.
No, I thought it was a third down, and they were going to have to punt. Maybe I'm wrong.
Like it's not even close to in the area. Here's the thing. I mean, it doesn't even get past the line of scrimmage, and he's like 5 yards down the line of scrimmage. Where's the thing? I don't know why this is the angle, but it hit under his legs. right here, this lineman, he's at least, if he's at this solid line, he's at least 7 yards away.
Yeah,
And at an angle, at
but you
least
said
8.
Burrow didn't get hit. Back it up a little bit. There was a
Huh?
defender.
His arm did not get hit. He just
It
threw it into
did.
the dirt.
It absolutely did.
Before the ball got left?
I think it was an actual reaction to the guy. The guy was right there. There was a defender. The defender affected that throw.
Come on.
The defender affected that throw. Don't tell me he didn't.
Why does it have the worst angle? And why is this brand new flipping computer not playing the video? I don't have that many windows open. Like, play the stupid video. Here you go.
Look, he's got a guy on his left and he's got a guy on his right. You're telling me that guy didn't grab him?
Look where his
Right
eyes
there.
are.
Right there. The guy.
Where's his eyes?
I don't care where his eyes are. There was 2 defenders around him affecting the throw.
He's clearly throwing it into the dirt with nobody around. I don't know why
Okay.
this is such a controversial call. Like,
Okay,
this is
so
clearly he looked straight at the dirt and threw it at 67 feet.
How do you know where he's looking?
Huh?
How do you know where he's looking?
Look at his eyes.
I can't see his eyes.
Look at his head. Okay, fine. Watch his head. It drops clearly right here and just immediately down to the ground.
Okay, I'm just saying he's got a defender on his left and his right. You can't tell me definitively that someone didn't hit his hip, didn't hit his.
I don't care about his hip. It's his arm.
Okay, you don't care about the guy that throws it at the receiver or the running back's feet.
I don't.
He's arguing that there was someone who affected his throw.
I think that's just clear intentional grounding, just throwing it into the dirt so that he doesn't.
And I would say I think it's clear intentional grounding to throw it at a receiver or running back's feet. When you're looking,
it's not actually. It's not intentional grounding because that's not the rule. If there's a receiver within a yard or 2 of the ball, it's not intentional grounding by rule. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, what I'm talking
and it's also
about,
not by the spirit of the rule.
But Tim,
the spirit of the rule is just with nobody around, you throw it into the dirt.
Okay, I'm talking about if there's defenders close to you that can interfere with your throw. That's the rule too. If they affect your throw, then you don't call intentional grounding. You have 2 guys right there.
All right.
So you're talking about the spirit.
No,
okay.
Because we're not going to agree apparently, but it's fine.
No, because you can't see it right.
All right. Anyway, I don't think the Bengals got screwed. I love Patrick Mahomes. I thought he played tremendous in this game, even with the busted ankle. I don't know how they keep getting Travis Kelce open, even though he's obviously the guy that they're looking at over and over. He had another 7 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. He becomes the second most catches, yards, and touchdowns behind who? Do you know who he's behind?
Gronk?
Nope. Behind only a receiver. He's the number 1 in tight ends.
Oh, that's got to be Koopa.
Nope. All time.
All right. Oh, Jerry Rice?
Yep. There it is.
I had to reach a little bit. By the way, I just wanted to clarify one thing. I did not say the Bengals got screwed by the refs in this game. All I said was they didn't have to make that call.
Okay.
So I was not saying, I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, the refs suck. They gave it. No, they did not. The Bengals screwed themselves with the personal foul. So I just want to be clear on that.
Yep. No problem. No problem. All right. Any other last things about this game?
No, we pretty much covered it.
Did you hear about the Cincinnati mayor?
Oh, yeah. Talking trash about the KC, and that's what fired him up. Yeah, I heard that. He came out and apologized. And
did you see what Kelce said after the game?
He said maybe you ought to just. How'd he say it?
He was like, know your role and shut up, jabroni.
Yeah. Yes, I did see that video. I was going to
And
say
apparently
slow
the
your
other
roll,
guy
but
took it. The mayor took it well. He said, fair enough. You guys won. Call me a jabroni. It's cool. Like he didn't get mad at all because
no, he was
Travis
a
Kelce
good
talks
sport
about.
about it. He was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I shouldn't have been talking crap," but
He's getting a part of the game. I thought it was fun, and I'm glad he took it because all a part of it is taking it like a good sport. So that's good.
yep.
That is good. Yeah, Burrowhead's no longer available, which is funny. They call it Burrowhead because apparently he only won one time in Arrowhead. It's not like he won all the games in Arrowhead. I could be wrong about that, but that's what Travis Kelce said. Is that technically Burrow only won one time, so you're already calling it his stadium Burrowhead after one win in it. Seemed a little bit excessive, but I get the joke at the same time, and it's fun. All right, you ready for Weddle?
Yeah, let's do this and get out of here.
Let's do it and get out of here.
All right, let's go with Kelsey.
All right, breaking records. Speaking of records, the Eagles set a record. I forgot to mention this. Apparently they had 93 yards of yards before contact. That's how well the offensive line played.
Wow.
Yeah, 93 yards before contact. Anyway, Kelsey gives me
Nothing. All right, let's
nada.
go with Jalen Hurts.
NFC. All right, Jalen Hurts. Let's do it. Okay. We're not in the NFC East. QB 6'1". We're in the NFC somewhere.
What
High.
about Purdy?
All right, we'll go Purdy. I think they've already done Purdy though.
I think they did too. Oh, we're getting closer.
6'1". Interesting. Quarterback.
NFC West. What?
Baker? Dang.
All right. Well,
Baker.
I'd like to feel I got you close.
You did great. Where are we going?
Oh shoot.
Who's the best defender you could think of the two teams that are playing in the Super Bowl?
There's no Bosa on there, right? I'm trying to
Nope.
think of.
Bosa got knocked out as San Francisco.
All right, you make the call. I'm drawing a blank.
All right, we're doing Chris Jones. Had an incredible game. 3 sacks, I think it was. Let me look at the stats again. I think at one point it was 3 sacks. They only give him 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 5 QB hits. Talk about affecting the game at the D tackle position. That's who we're going with. Chris Jones. All right, we're in the AFC, but that's it. And we're short. We're younger.
Not
More than
defense,
95.
right? It's not defense. It's offense.
Correct. It's not defense. It could be special teams, but we can go offense first. So let's go. And there's so many different ways we can go here. But we have to be under 6'3". So, and it's an offensive player in the AFC. Why am I just completely not saying anybody? Let's go with. Here's a random name, Michael Pittman. Okay. Okay. It's not a receiver. It is on offense though. We're under 25. We're under number 11. Oh, single digit. So we could be a quarterback again. Actually, there's a lot of receivers or running backs now that could be. Like it could be like a Ronald Jones or like a Jerick McKinnon or something. Ooh, number 2. Oh wait, it can't be Ronald Jones because it's not in the AFC West. So AFC North, it's not a running back. We're either 6 foot or 6'1". Is it Huntley? Is Huntley number 2? Bang!
Nice. Well, I can
right.
still hear you fine. I just lost my whole display. I've been trying to get my camera to work, but everything. Apparently, I need to reboot my computer, but
yeah, you're sounding
still hear you fine.
Computery too. So we'll wrap this up. I appreciate all of you in the chat. It was fun. Hopefully you had a good time. I will be back tomorrow and we'll go through some. My computer came in, so we should be all set to go with the film reviews or like the highlight reviews of a bunch of players. So we'll go for that tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern. So be here for that. I'm going to do the Senior Bowl. I believe the Senior Bowl is at 3 o'clock. Let me confirm. NCAA football. Yep, 3 o'clock on Saturday. So we will do that, which is fun. Senior Bowl. Where did it go? What? All-Star? No. It's supposed to be Senior Bowl on Thursday. Whatever that is. All right. Or on Saturday, rather. Saturday at 3 o'clock. So we'll do that. That'll be fun. It's a XFL month. Is that happening already? Is XFL already scheduled? When's the first game of XFL? I haven't even looked at the schedule of that.
All right. Well, I got all my display back, but apparently my camera is toast.
Saturday, February 18th. Okay. So we'll start doing the DC Defender games. That'll be fun. So Sunday, February 19th at 8 o'clock. We'll definitely do that game. We'll plan on that. So, all right.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yep. But hit
Everything-
the like button. Oh, go for it.
No, I was just going to say all my displays and everything shut off, but I got that back. Apparently my camera's toast, so I got to do something about that. But
Gotcha.
thanks to everybody for hanging out.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, description below, there's a Discord link. Hop on our Discord and come talk football with us. Last but not least, there are donation links, or you can become a channel member with the links below. 99 cents a month gets your skin in the game. Appreciate all of you. And until next time, see ya!